Good evening. I'm Pastor Spencer from Messiah Lutheran Church, Salem, Oregon. And tonight I want to talk to you about a meeting we had last night at Messiah Lutheran Church with our church council. First, I'd like to read a verse to you from 1 Corinthians, chapter 16, verses 13 and 14. Be on your guard, stand firm in the faith, be men of courage, be strong, do everything in love. As you know, over the past several weeks, months, we have faced a time that we've been separated by distance, separated by what is called COVID-19. And now the doors are starting to be opened. Opportunities to gather once again occur. The council got together last night to discuss the process in which we will open. We used as our guideline a document produced by the governor's office. It's by the health department from the office of Director Kate Brown, Governor. And these are the actions that were recommended for us to gather safely. Stay home if you are sick. To avoid exposure to COVID-19, people who are at risk for or have severe complications, those people over 60 who have underlying medical conditions should stay home even if they feel well. If you become symptomatic, have a cough, fever, shortness of breath while in public, please return home and self-isolate immediately. Contact your health provider if you need medical attention. Practice good hand hygiene with frequent hand washing for at least 20 seconds or use hand sanitizer, 60 to 95% alcohol content. Cover coughs and sneezes with elbows or tissue. If you have a tissue, immediately discard the tissue in the garbage and wash your hands. Avoid touching your face. Practice physical distancing of at least 6 feet between you and the people who you do not live with. Use cloth, paper, or disposable face coverings in public. As Oregon is reopening, restrictions are being lifted on businesses and public spaces. It may be difficult to ensure that you can stay 6 feet away from others at all times. Please review the face mask and face covering guidance for business, transit, and public. Stay close to home. Avoid overnight trips to minimize over non-essential travel, including recreational day trips to destinations outside the community where you live. Travel the minimum distance needed to obtain essential services. In rural areas, residents may have to travel greater distances for essential services, while in urban areas, residents may need only to travel a few miles for those services. These were the guidelines, along with what other states have been recommending concerning the reopening of churches, and several states include the best way to do that. These were the things that were discussed by the church council last night in determining what we would do to guarantee the safety of the least of us, to operate with love. Some of the recommendations include restroom control. Because of toilets misting the air and bodily fluids present inside of the use of a bathroom, and I don't need to explain any more than that. One person at a time in non-ventilated areas like our bathrooms will be the maximum. And there should be a cooling down period between uses. That might be 10 minutes, it might be 15, whatever that might be. It may not even be possible to do that, but we are hopeful that people will try to abide by that and definitely keep it down to one person in the restroom at a time. Also face masks, because churches do sing. And because the disease is spread by continuous contact or in the presence, it's a duration-based problem. Masks are important, not so much for your sake, but for those who are in the sanctuary with you. That's why we're also limited to 25 people or 1/4 of the occupancy, whichever is less. So we will only have 25 people at services until future notice. Those people desiring to attend service are to let us know, call the church. If there is a scheduling issue, we will call you back and let you know not to bother coming or ask others to give up their spot so that you might be able to attend. Thus far, it's not going to be a problem. This Sunday, we will be having matins from TLH, and thus far, we only have about 14 or 15 people who have requested that they show up. So these are some of the issues that are coming. And also, no handshaking or hugging. A nod, a from the heart symbol, a wave, just to make sure that we don't infect the least of us, that we operate in the bounds of love for our neighbors. Yes, maybe many of us might be immune to it and may never have a problem with it, but it doesn't mean that we might not be carriers of it. So we ask you for you to bring a mask if you have it. We're trying to find some so that we can hand them out if need be, but at this point we don't have them. So we want to protect each and every person. This is the guidelines that the council has established. It's for the benefit of the least of us. It's to prepare us to be safe and to make it through. And we will make it through. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen to a believer? We get sick and are called to heaven. But what about all those other people that we infect on the way? So the council has made these rules for now, and we're going to abide by them. If you have a problem, you can contact the council president and talk to him, or you can leave a message for me. I'm more than happy to talk to you. Again, we're trying to do what's best for people. We already have people upset that we didn't open earlier. We have people upset that we're opening already. We just don't seem to be able to please everybody. But the devil's working hard to fragment the household of God. And so this is understandable. But we are trying to do what's best for everybody. So my prayers continue to be with you all. I continue to pray daily for each and every one of you, members of the congregation, and for all the people affected out there by this terrible disease and by everything. And I pray that you will remain strong and know that the Lord is with you always, even until the end of the age. God bless you, and have a wonderful night in the Lord.